Mazingira Institute is a knowledge and action organization that's been running for more than 40 years, well, more than 45 years actually. And we do both knowledge building, research, and knowledge dissemination, and also facilitating action at community level through various networks and organizations. So this has been going on a very long time. The way we address habitat rights, now that's an interesting term because we deal with human rights. Now, human rights are legal instruments, and there are two human rights which affect the rights of people to housing and survival. So there is the right to housing, which is enshrined in two UN legal instruments, and the right to food, which is manifest in several more and is a much older right legally. So we try to disseminate these rights both within and beyond HIC and through communities in Kenya, and make sure that people are allowed to access their rights. So these two, food and housing, are linked, obviously, as a question of survival. And in an urban context, the issue is the right to food manifests as an issue of the right to self-provisioning. Now, this is an absolute human right that people must be able to feed themselves. Now, if you stop someone feeding themselves, that is the violation of a human right in law. So what we look at is whether there are communities in urban areas that are feeding themselves, and we both support and facilitate such people and organizations doing that. And through that, there are organizations of urban farmers, and we try to help them, and we also facilitate their understanding of their rights and also protecting their rights. But it's the duty of governments not to violate these human rights. And as you know, the right to housing, which is linked to that, is usually manifest in law and actions of HIC members in preventing people from being evicted from their homes. So how we do that, have done it in Mazingira, is through facilitating networking, knowledge exchange, and people's voices reaching the authorities. And we have about almost 20-year-old, let's say 17-year-old organization we host, which is a network of urban farmers. And that's called NEFSAL, but it's the Nairobi and Environs Food Security Network. And it consists of urban farmers, food producers, food processors, but people involved in food in the urban environment. And they have a platform which they can link to various other people, other farmers, producers, and the local authorities, government, and the private sector. So we host that, and the farmers are able to organize and take action. Over the years, that has led to also a lot of work with urban authorities. That's progressed fairly far, and we've had great success on this in bringing awareness in the local governments of food as an urban issue. So in Kenya, we're fairly well advanced thanks to this activity, and a number of local authorities and cities now have food departments as a municipal activity. Worldwide, you don't find many of these, but Toronto has been an example. It's just fallen apart, unfortunately, but within Africa and within Kenya in particularly, those organizations are building, and municipalities are starting to work on issues of food and helping people fulfill their rights to food. I would say, well, first of all, there's quite a lot to say about food systems, but let me first address the question of climate change in relation to that. And it is very important because if people are producing food in urban areas specifically, what may be affected by climate change is the access to productive process and soil health in particular. So soil health is a matter that we go into quite a bit and encourage among the farmers, and they also understand very well that you need a productive soil. This is most often done through combining livestock and crop production. So we find that most of the urban farmers who have productive and climate healthy systems are doing crop and livestock. So the livestock wastes are used as an input for soil health. This enables them to combat changing climate conditions. Urban is also very important because it's easier for urban farmers to get access to water and a lot of other types of waste, urban wastes, which are good inputs to improve soils. Now, understanding the separation of wastes, so organic wastes are inputs for healthy soils. There's a lot of waste in municipalities and urban authorities. So working with the urban authorities on the integration of waste handling and food production in urban areas is a critical matter. And that is indeed one of the things which the urban authorities in Kenya are starting to take into account, and we are working with them. The food system is an important thing for people to understand how it works. And we have a model, a food system model developed by Mazingira Institute, and shows the various aspects of the food system, its mechanism, its components, and activities as a diagram, and showing everybody how they fit into that food system, including what things are facilitated or managed by local authorities, which are inputs by other people, and how interventions can be made in the food system to produce healthy food. And we had meetings involving very many staff of the local authorities in Kisumu and Nakuru, lasting several days and involving multiple departments and offices of the local authorities to see how to implement their food system in the best way.